Let us take up a question on the March 25 mock test paper, CA Intermediate on Auditing. So you have Jin Kushal and Associates is a firm of chartered accountant practicing in Delhi. The firm consists of two partners, Jin and Kushal. The statutory audit team is generally headed by CA Jin, and his team consists of three article assistants and one qualified chartered accountant, CA ratio. With respect to the audit work of four clients for which the audit team intends to start the audit work, CA discussed with the team members about the development of the audit programs for individual clients. One of the article assistant, Mr. Sumit, was of the view that one single audit program can be developed for all the four clients operating in different industries. With respect to one of the clients, namely Saraswati Limited, uh, a labor intensive company, CAG in a CA ratio to compare the amount of wages paid, whatever the amount of wages that is being paid by the company in the current year and the last year. Also, she was asked to verify the relationship between the number of employees and the wages paid in both the years by the company. Audit firm started the audit of the client, namely Sartak Limited, having the maximum transaction in foreign currency. Siajin asked one of the team members, Mr. Rahul, to verify the calculation related to the conversion of the foreign currency into local currency is proper or not. While verifying the share issue transaction of one client, namely Lakshman Limited, CA ratio found that the company has issued sweat equity shares during the year under audit. She asked one of the article assistant, Mr. Saurabh, to further verify whether the relevant provision of Companies Act 2013 have been complied by the company in this regard. Also, with respect to Sarthak Limited, there was a reduction of share capital during the year. Mr. Saurabh was asked by the engagement partner to verify the compliance of relevant provision of the Companies Act. In this regard, Mr. Saurabh was of the view that there is a requirement of passing special resolution by the respective company for both. While starting the audit work, another client, Rintex Limited, audit team noticed that the company has its internal audit team. Mr. Sumit was of the view that statutory audit team can use and rely upon the work of internal auditor of the company, and such there is no requirement to statutory audit team to perform audit procedures again, as internal audit team has verified the financial transaction of the company. Further, while verifying the expense ledgers, Mr. Sumit noticed that the company has implemented a system whereby the entries related to expenses incurred during the year can be entered into accounting system by authorized personnel only. However, with respect to traveling expenses, which constituted 30% of total expenses, entries were made by employees who were not authorized to make such entries. Now, based on the above facts, answer the following. Is the view of Sumit with respect to development of audit program is correct? So whether the view of Sumit is correct as well as the development of audit program is concerned. So if you see what Sumit is highlighting actually here, so whether his view is correct actually here. So Mr. Sumit says that you can have a single audit program can be developed for all the clients operating in different industries. No, this is definitely not correct. Now let us see. Because they are different industries, different nature of business, you can't have a single audit program. Is the view of Mr. Sumit with respect to the development of audit program is correct? The first option, yes, with the view of Mr. Sumit is correct, as developing one audit program for all the clients will avoid duplication of efforts of audit team. This is not a correct answer. Second answer is no. The view of Mr. Sumit is not correct as all four clients operate in different industries. Evolving one audit program for all businesses is not practicable. B seems to be the right answer, but let us see C and D. C says yes. Yes means that Sumit is correct. No, then we should not take up this option at all. Let us go to D. No, the view of Mr. Smith is not correct, as the development of audit program is not the responsibility of audit team. The individual client can develop the audit program. This is absolutely wrong because audit program has to be developed. It has to be developed by the audit team and not by the client. So B and D they were having a close answers, but B is the right answer, bang on target because evolving one audit program for all businesses is not practicable. Second question: identify the audit procedure of Ms. Ratio was asked by CA Jin to perform with respect to Saraswati Limited. So, identify the audit procedure Ms. Reshu was asked by CA Jin to perform with respect of Saraswati Limited. With respect to Saraswati Limited, what is the audit procedure Ms. Reshu was asked by CA Jin to perform with respect to Saraswati Limited? Here in this case, what has happened actually here ratio. So what procedure ratio is applying? Let us go back and see. Ratio is asked to verify relationship between number of employees and the wages paid for both the years. Now this, my dear soldiers, is definitely when you compare the relationship between number of employees and wages paid, this is more of our analytical procedures. Okay, let us see that. So now identify the audit procedure Ms. Ratio is asked by Z agent to perform with respect to service limited substantive analytical procedure. Now, this is the answer. This is the right answer. A, because you're analyzing the transaction. See, analytical procedure is what? Study of relationship. It is more of a study of relationship, and that's what it is actually. Okay. So here you're studying the relationship, and that is what you have to understand. Okay. Whereas test of detail means what? You're checking the transaction with the documentary evidence. Test of transaction is more of checking the P&L items. And test of control basically deals with the operating effectiveness of the internal control. Whether understanding of Mr. Saurabh regarding the passing of special resolution is correct. Is it correct? So what is this actually here? Understanding of the Mr. Saurabh in relation to special resolution. Let us try to understand that. CA ratio found that the company has issued sweat equity. She has asked an article assistant Saurabh further verify relevant provision of companies that was complied. Also, Sarthak Limited, there was a reduction in the capital. Mr. Saurabh was asked by the engagement partner to verify compliance of Companies Act. Saurabh was of view that the requirement of passing resolution, special resolution by respective company for both actually. Yes. So passing special resolution. Okay, so one is that issuing a sweat equity shares, and the other one is what you can say the reduction of capital. Okay, so what do you think actually here? So he says that special resolution will do. Now, here in this case, actually, here what happens is that so what Saurabh is highlighting here that past special resolution was sweat equity as well as the reduction of capital, which is very much correct. So let us see. Understanding of Mr. Saurabh is partly correct as order resolution is required for the issue of sweat equity by company, and though special resolution is required by to be passed by the company in case of reduction of capital. No, both the cases will require special resolution, so A cannot be the option. B, understanding of Mr. Saurabh is partly correct as special resolution is required for issue of sweat equity, order resolution for reduction of share capital. This is also not correct. Understanding of Mr. Saurabh, the option C is correct as special resolution is required in case of issue of sweat equity by the company and reduction of share capital. So C should be the right answer. Let's look into D before we understand, which before we finalize the answer. Understanding of Mr. Saurabh is not correct as order resolution is required in case of issue of sweat equity as well as reduction of share capital ruled out, completely ruled out. D cannot be the answer. A and B is creating confusion, but C is the right answer because special resolution is required for both sweat equity as well as reduction of share capital. Next one. Is the view of Smith correct in respect of using the relying upon the work of internal audit team of Rintex Limited? What they are telling, since we have done the audit, you don't do the audit. Absolutely wrong. So this cannot be correct actually here. Here A says that yes, the view of Sumit is correct. No, sir, no. Internal auditor has done the work fine, no problem actually. That does not mean that I will not apply my procedures. Then the next option, no, the view of Sumit is not correct. A statutory audit team cannot use the work of internal audit team of the client company. So why we can always use it? No, the view of Sumit is not correct. Statutory auditor has the sole responsibility for the audit opinion expressed actually. So C seems to be the right answer, but let us see D. Why not B? Why B? Because statutory audit can always use the work of internal audit team, but at its discretion. Okay. D, what it says, in the view of Sumit is partly correct as statutory audit team can rely upon the work of internal audit team if the same is agreed with the in the engagement letter. No, sir, no, sir, no, sir. So here C is the right answer. Sole responsibility of expressing opinion is that of Sumit. Identify the type of risk noticed by Mr. Sumit with respect to entries related to traveling expenses entered into the accounting system of Rintex Limited. Uh, what has happened? See here. So what has happened actually here? The entry related to traveling expenses is passed by a person who is not authorized. So what type of risk is this actually? This is a lapse of internal control. So controls are not functioning properly. This is more of a control risk. C is the right answer. Okay. See, what is control risk? The internal control is not operating as intended. Internal control is not operating as intended. That is what we understand by the control risk. So C is the right answer. Okay. All of you are clear, my dear soldiers. Everybody is clear. All of you are clear. Yes. Fine, soldiers. I'll see you in the next video. Great.